Hi, Flosstube. This is Beck from Clutterbug's Craft Corner. This is a floss tube about cross stitching. There will be some knitting involved and some quilting involved. I will let you know when I'm stopping one and starting talking about the next one. Um, Today is the 24th. It's Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving. I actually recorded yesterday on Thanksgiving, and I decided to scratch that video. I was going to end up having to edit a little too much. I think I was in a pie coma. And so, I don't know. I didn't want to have to edit too much. Today, I'm letting you know I have a microphone. I just bought a new microphone. So I'm hoping that it's not working too well and I'm shouting at you, or you're going to hear a lot of rustling of paper and stuff now because it picks up all the noise. We'll see how it goes. But I think this one should be okay. It wasn't the cheapest and it wasn't the most expensive, so we should do okay with this microphone. Um, I wanted to, I wanted to say to have a good Thanksgiving, but hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving and you got to eat all the yummy stuff you wanted to eat. Um, I wanted to thank everybody. I hit 100 subscribers. Whoop, whoop. I know that sounds like a tiny little milestone, but for me, it's quite exciting. I really thought I was going to be talking to myself most of the time. Um, I don't know. I really thought that. I didn't think, like, I've only done 4 videos, um, like 4 floss tubes, a couple extra little ones. One was by mistake, my first one. So this is floss tube number 5. Yeah, I have 100 subscribers. That's exciting. I hope everybody watches the videos and watches them all the way through. And I hope that you guys would comment a little more, only because I have I have giveaways. I have a lot of giveaways. The line of work that I do, I own an estate sale company. I tell you guys this all the time. We're clutterbugs. Um, and a lot of times I get neat things. I get crafting things, and then I'll get like just awesome stuff. Like I last time I showed you this wood bowl so that it could hold all our little pillows, and um, I don't know. There's just all kinds of different things that I end up with because they didn't sell for whatever reason at the sale, and instead of donating them, I bring them home or I put them in my storage unit, and I'll gift them or try to sell them at a different sale. So I'm always going to be getting rid of stuff and gifting stuff. Um, but I would like to see more comments. I'm going to talk about the winner for last week's giveaway, and I just pulled one winner because there weren't that many people commenting, and I wasn't sure if anybody was interested or not. There's no name to pull from really, so yeah. So I have one winner, and we'll go over that at the end of the cross stitch part of the video. I just want to thank you for being a subscriber, coming back. Of course, anybody who's new and has listened to me babble for this last couple minutes. I will talk about cross stitch, and then I'll talk about knitting, and then I'll talk about some quilting stuff. I have a couple boxes to go through. I did do it last night, so I'm actually not going to show you every single piece like I did last night. Um, we'll go through it a little quicker. There's some cool stuff in those 2 boxes, though. Um, What else do we have? I told you about my microphone. Hopefully that's going okay. Oh, my car issues. Yeah, so we're not going to spend too much time on that. It's not fixed. We're going into week 3 without my SUV. I've been using my daughter's Honda. It's a Civic, a small Civic. I can only take like 4 of my square tables in at a time to the sale that we're setting up. But at least I have another car to use while I'm waiting for this stinking part to come. Uh-oh. Sneezing time. Nope, it's gone. Well then. It'll come back. There were a couple cool Black Friday videos out. I watched one where this woman talked about all the places that she knew of that she bought things from that she knew would be doing a Black Friday sale. So I went and checked them out. I did pick a couple things from two of the places she mentioned. Um, the others, it wasn't that, to me, it wasn't that big of a deal, you know, just to get free shipping on $50 orders or 20% off is awesome if you're really looking for something. I'm not really looking for something. I have no business buying anything else. So I bought a couple patterns from a couple of the places. So when I get them, I will share them with you. I'll show them to you. One of them is the cutest thing ever. I love rodents of all kinds, but mice, and I love strawberries. And there was a little mouse with strawberries, so I had to get that one. I'm going to go over some whips. I have a new start. I have another new start that I started and forgot I started. I don't know how I did that because I just started it like this last week. I have gotten a lot of stitching done. Um, and some knitting. I got some knitting done. So I'll have a few to show you. I have a little bit of haul. I went to a thrift store. I got some pretty neat things. Um, and I also went to Michael's and Joann and got a couple things. So we'll start with the whips. I'll start there. I told you about the test project that I'm working on that of course I can't show you, but I took a break from it just for almost a week now. Not really. I go back and I'll do like literally like 30, 25, 30 stitches and then I take a break. It's full coverage. It's big. It's a lot of similar colors. Full of confetti, like a lot of confetti, which for those of you who don't do full coverage confetti, I don't know if everybody knows what it means, but it's just like literally doing like a dot here, a dot here, a dot here, a dot here, one color, then it's other colors all mixed in. It's confetti, really, and it's kind of annoying. I love it. You know, for like 10 minutes, I'm like, woohoo, this is fun. I love doing this. And then after 10 minutes, I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I go back and forth. So I think that mixing up what I'm doing and getting to work on some of the other projects is helping me get further along in that project. So I am working on the one that I told you about, which is Sign from Heaven. And I'm making that as a gift for someone. And I was worried about how it looked. Where are we going with this? I was worried about how it looked because I've started it 3 times now. And finally I said, you know what? I'm just going to continue this. The third time I started it, I was ready to completely abandon it. And I'm not. And don't forget, this is before I knew better than to use masking tape. So this is pre some knowledge of what to and what not to do. And the only reason it's out of the ring is because I was starting to get into here and it didn't fit in the ring and I was too lazy to get up and get a smaller one. Otherwise it'd be sitting in the ring too, which I know we shouldn't be doing, but yep, that's me. I think it'll be okay. I am not happy about all the white, what I call white, that I can see. I just don't know. I don't know how to stop that from happening other than upping the thread. And I'm already doing 2 over 2. So I think what this is prompting me to do is to start dyeing my fabric, so that I can get it a little closer to a color that is, you know, a little, I don't know, just a better background for what I'm doing, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to try it out and see. But for this one, I think we'll be okay. I think she'll be okay with it. I got a lot done. I actually finished the whole bird. This whole branch I did recent. I did that in a couple days. I did a little bit in here. So I'm actually getting somewhere on that guy. And then I also have this guy we talked about that I don't know why, but I might end up with the whole thing. One of you commented about how you have the whole thing and you're doing it all one piece. Um, I am going to do it separately, but oh my gosh, I think I'm going to end up with all of them because by accident, I just, while I'm scrolling and finding things, I find one and I'm like, oh, I really like that. And I'm like, hey, that's the same thing as the other guys I have. So little by little, I'm getting them all. So this one is the Scarecrow. And this one I did on, oh, I should have, it's Cottage Garden Samplings. It's the Snowman. This is series 5. And I have all the called for colors except for 1 or 2. We had to swap them out. And these two, this is Weeks, and this is Colorworks up here. Otherwise, it's all DMC. I am doing this on a 36. It's linen. It's a 36 count. I don't know what color it is. I'm sorry, or who makes it. Oh, it has that orange line. This always confuses me. I feel like it's linen, but because there's little nubs here and there. But I thought that meant, I can't remember. I thought this meant something, that when you have this line, it's not as wide, or maybe, I don't know. I can't remember. They explain it to me, and then next time I go and I ask them to explain it again every time. But anyway, this is 36 count, and I'm doing 1 thread over 2. And oh my God, I think this is my favorite way to cross stitch. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I really do. I didn't think that I'd like it, but as long as I wear my readers, and I feel like it's faster, it's smoother. The stitches lay where I want them to lay, and I think it looks pretty. It's a lot more uniform than when I'm using 2. Not so puffy. I don't know. There's so much about it that I really like. So I got this done in a couple days as well. So I'm working on him. We also have this guy, which I think I showed this to you, and then I started it. I told you in the last video that I was going to be starting some new things, and so totally forgot. Ooh, that was probably really loud. Sorry. Totally forgot that I started it. But I know I showed him to you. He's upside down. And everything's going to fall out. There we go. I showed this to you once. It's a whole kit that came together. It's Imaginating. It's 1300 Quilt Snowman, designed by Diane Arthurs. And I don't know exactly what kind of thread it is. It's very possibly DMC. And this fabric reminds me of, it's got to be 14. I guess it could be 16, but I don't know. Model stitched on fiddler's cloth. Is that what this is? Because I was going to say that it reminds me of, like, almost reminds me of the bread cover pieces that I find. It's floppy but still sturdy. I don't know. It's not as floppy as the bread covers. Yes, these are DMC, and it's 14. It's a 14 count. And is that upside down too? No, because that's a heart. And that's how far I've gotten. And you see how I love to share, like I've upgraded. So now we're using painter's tape, the blue tape, instead of masking tape. That's what I do. This is coming out okay. I see a couple little stitches that I need to adjust here. Oh, I had this. Well, you got the gist of it. I had that little string hanging there, but So I got that done. I think right after I talked to you guys last time, I started that one. Oh, and then there's this one. I think I showed you the pattern early on when I first got on to Flosstube, but I put in just a handful more stitches than that were in there last time. But he's super cute. I think my girlfriend absolutely loves hippos, and so this is little hippo. I got this from Etsy, an Etsy shop, I think, and it's designed by Maria Bravko. I am doing it different than whatever it called for. I'm doing the colors of the hippo, but I changed the, excuse me, the the oh my gosh, whatever this is, the inner tube. And I did blue, and it's 16 or 18 count Ada, and she likes colors like this and blue better, so I'm going to do that. And then the little bubbles that are on the pattern here that are blue, I can't see what I'm doing. Those little bubbles, I will either do a dark, like a darker blue, or I may just change the bubbles to a different color. I'm not sure yet. I haven't thought about that. But I like how it's coming out so far. So I'm not in a big hurry to get this one done. It's just for fun to give as a gift. So um, that's that. Oh, and these little guys, I work at Ace Hardware. I used to run the electrical department in our Manuka store, but I'm down to 1 day a week since I started my estate sale business. So I literally work one little day a week, about 5 hours a week, but I still get my discount, which is really nice of them. And we had these for Halloween and we clearanced them. And so I bought them all for my daughter and myself. We just like clipping them to our little project bags, and they smell. I can't smell them very well because of my past COVID situation. My sense of smell's gone, but there's one that I can always smell, and it's the little purple bat. But there's like the only one I'm missing here right now is the ghost. But these are so cute, and they all smell like something different. But this little guy, and I love bats, but it's grape, and I can smell this one, so I leave it hanging on my hot lamp and off to the side of me. And while I'm stitching, every so often, it a little smell of grape flavor or scent pops up, and it's just really cute. Okay, there's that. What else? I think that's all of the cross stitch whips. Besides the other big one that I can't show anybody. All right. Yeah, I think so. So now I will show you a new start that I'm excited about doing. I have this guy, and I got this, I think I got it on an Etsy. Yeah, and it's, I don't know how to pronounce it. I think it's Orabil. It's OR and then a capital ABEILLE, and it's an Etsy shop. But I got this, my family, so on my dad's side, they always told me I was Bohemian English, Irish, on my mom's side, Italian, Scottish, and I'm like, yep, that's what I am. And then we did the DNA thing a few years ago. Yep, I am like about 60% German, and then the rest of me has some Czech and all those other ones I mentioned. So, but on my dad's side, they always said we're Bohemian. I don't know why. It could be my brain thinks that it could be because when my dad was born, there was a lot going on with the war, before pre-war, and pre World War II. So I'm thinking that maybe they just had family or went to the Czech side, or just, got out of Germany and didn't claim to be German. They claimed the um, Czech or Bohemian at the time, because Bohemia was actually still a place when my grandma was in Europe. So, and when she married my grandpa, who was Pierce, Pearce. So that wasn't either of those. So I don't know. I All I know is I was raised as an Italian Bohemian. I call it Hobohemian, and my grandmother, my whole life, called me a gypsy, which was a compliment in my eyes because I love it. I love being a little Hobohemian and a gypsy, and just being very eclectic. So I got this, and I just think it's so cool. And it's October Mood. There's actually a whole, I don't know if it's series or there's just a whole bunch of them. There's things on here in Czech, possibly. Uh Russian, Czech. I'm not sure what language that is. But it's an owl forest, and it's the what's her name? I forgot her name. I'm sorry. The Yaba Baba, or Baba Yaba, or you know, I can't remember what it is now. But I just love it. And the pattern that she printed it in the large form, and the colors are just awesome, vibrant. And there's just all the things I love on here. Just there's cats, there's owls, there's blackbirds, some bats, a gnarly tree, the hag, or whatever you want to call her. I'd like to have that one going before the next Flosstube. Oh, and then that's about it. Otherwise, I have just some new things I got. This here I got is the Stitching with the Housewives, the weigh-in, monthly weigh-in, and this one is January. Can't see them. I haven't started any of these. I finally remembered to buy the scale, and that came, and it's not, of course, the scale's not done at all. You have to put it together and paint it. It's Classic Colorworks, and the weigh-in. I don't know when I'll start those. Who knows when I'll ever put the scale together, but when I do, that would probably go in the kitchen on my counter, and just swap out each month for a year. Then I'll probably take it down and then wait a while and put it back up. I also got this one. I don't think I showed you guys, the Pilgrim. I must have tilted my light funny because I'm getting a glare. This is the Pilgrim, and I like it. Of course, I love the snowmen, pumpkins. Not big on the turkey and stuff like that, but the colors are great, and I'll enjoy it just because there's a snowman. And then it came with all the called for floss, or I ordered it. There's one marmalade in there. I think marmalade is so pretty. The Classic Colorworks. It's just so very pretty. I don't know if you can see the slight variegation in it. I like it. For a bright color, I do like it. So we have that, and then that's all I ordered. That's not true. Today this just came in the mail, and I opened it. I didn't look inside yet. It came from Canada. So I ordered something from somebody. Maybe it was one of those Flosstube, the Facebook groups that I like to be part of, and they do the sales. Um, oh yes, I'm so excited. Just look at the little mice. I love mice. Look at how cute. There's just a little baby, and then the bird, and the mama. This is a leisure arts book. Vera Mouse. Life is a Picnic. I love them all. I absolutely love them all. I love mice. So I got that. Then today, oh, did I bring that other? I might have to pause you. I had to do that yesterday too, and I was like, this time I won't have to pause. Yeah, I have to pause. I'll show you the things. I'll show you this first, then I'll pause, run and get it, and then I'll come back. So I stopped at Michael's and Joanne today after we were setting up our sale. On the way home, we stopped and I grabbed just a couple things from each store, but Joanne had the doorbuster with the floss, so I just picked out, like, they were 50 cents a skein instead of 66, so I grabbed a whole bunch. Couldn't tell you if I need these colors. I may have one of each. I may have none. I think I'm only missing, I have one of every color except for two of them, and I never think to write them down and take it with me or put it in my phone saying, hey, dummy, you need these two colors. I mean, I haven't needed them to stitch, but they're just not in my collection. So I couldn't resist. They made a mess out of it, though. Whoever shopped earlier before me, there were floss on the floor. They were all in the wrong place. I don't know. I guess sometimes I'm spoiled by how I get to shop for floss. I guess I should just be grateful that I get to go to a store that's not terribly far away and buy it, especially for 50 cents. And then I got a couple boxes, actually 4 of them. I like these smaller boxes, just to hide stuff in and then put it on the shelf. You can stack one on top of the other. And those were 70% off. So I got those. And then I got, yep. I'm going to pause you just for a second. Hold, please. Okay. I'm seriously, like, out of breath. All I did was run down to the bottom of the stairs, grab this item, and come right back up. This is Simply Tidy Photo and Craft Keeper. There are 16 4x6-inch cases inside this case. There were these, or you can get ones that I think they were like a little lighter than this guy here. And they were all the same color. I don't know how sturdy this will be. But I had this kooky idea. I spent so much time months and months ago going through all my floss, trying to hang them on key tags and sorting them by the color chart versus by number, because I watched a video on what the best way to sort your floss is. There's just too many damn ways to sort floss, let me tell you, because I thought that would be brilliant. And so what I did is I kept some by number. I kept at least, I think I did the one of each hanging on the floss rings. And then I did the rest by number, I think. I never even got finished, actually. There's still a few bags. I have like plastic bags with the chart numbers in there. I started sorting them. I put them in folders on the bookshelf in my room. Thought that was a brilliant idea. I don't know how well I'm digging that. So I may not take all that out. I may just leave it, get through those. But I'm finding it hard to find my floss when I'm using called for colors. So I guess if you do a lot of the called for colors on your charts, it makes sense that you would keep yours by number. If you're like so many of the people out there that like to switch floss or change colors and not use all the called for, and you go by by the palette, the color palette, it would make sense to do it that way. Anyway, I'm thinking I'm just gonna go by number in these. I don't know. And I bought 4 of these bins because they were a doorbuster. They're normally $42 a piece, and I got them for $12.50 a piece. So for $10 more than one of them, I got 4 of them. But anyway, I think I can line these up with some floss, and if I decide not to do it with the DMC, then I could start putting some Colorworks and Weeks and all that in there. So we'll see. I don't know how well these will hold up for floss, but I don't think they should be too bad. And then this here just closes up, and then I can just slide them right under the little table I have all my floss under. So those things I got today. I got more floss, of course. I don't know if I need it. Like if I need these colors, I really don't need any of these colors. I should just buy floss when called for, but who does that? I don't know anybody who does that. I just know I think it's pretty and I like it. I want it. So I got this guy. He's a 27 count. Thought it was going to be 36, but maybe it was one of the other ones. So this is a 27 count. I got that with the coupon and with a sale, what do you call them? Reward. And then I got this with a reward, a coupon, a reward, and a birthday reward. So by the time I was done with this one was only $4. And I think it was supposed to be almost $30. There's 2, it says 2 free charts. I don't know how many colors are in here. 12? 24. 24 skeins. Cute tin. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So there's 12 colors. Maybe 11. But there's just the base. To me, these are called basic colors. Basic usual. I like that there's the B5200 because I've started listening to a lot of you guys about using that in place of white and how it lays better for whatever reason. That is such a mystery to me, why white does not lay as well as the other colors. And I'm also starting to question the black, the 310. I'm starting to wonder if I should start venturing out and trying other brands for the black. Again, a mystery to me why they work the way they do. But and then it has this little chart. It says 2, but I think they mean this as a chart. And then this is on the back of the tin, so I don't think it's a big deal if I show it to you real quick. But it's just a door and a window with a red bike in front of it with some flowers in the basket. Not sure if I'll ever do that, but it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's not like a throwaway one for me anyway. So I got those, and then I got so I have tried dyeing fabric, and I want to try dyeing floss because I do have an enormous amount of floss, and they're all at least three generations of floss. And the reason that is because the labels on them are all different from each other. So I have floss from as far back as the 70s, I'm sure. um, could be a little earlier than the 70s, up until current new colors. And they don't match each other, of course. You know, they were sitting in a box or in a plastic bag. I get them all from estate sales or thrift stores. So when you're not buying it new, that's what'll happen. So I'm thinking I could potentially use those to dye them and play around with them and see what I come up with. And anyway, we stopped at Hobby Lobby one of the days last week, and um, nope, it wasn't Hobby Lobby. I'm sorry, it was Myers, which is kind of like a Walmart ish place. We stopped there for a few things for Thanksgiving, and like they have a craft section. Let's go check it out real quick. So we went. I found Rit. Everybody talks about how Rit's really expensive. I paid, I think, I don't know, like say 350 a bottle, give or take a dime. I checked when I got home because I never know what I have. So I'll just go and I'm like, "Ooh, I like these colors. I'm going to get these colors." So I bought 4 colors, got it home, and I'm like, "I wonder if I have all these colors already." And one bottle of this will last me forever. I'm sure of it because that's all I'll use it on is fabric or floss. At least now, I don't really have anything else. And I have a little bit of yarn that I have to dye, but I don't know when I'll ever get to it. Anyway, I have 17 bottles that are for natural fibers. I have a few bottles for synthetic. I did not get one that I already have out of all 4 of these. I was proud of myself. So I got sage and hyacinth, which to me is just like a darker lavender. Kelly green. It's looks a little duller than the apple green to me. We'll see how it dyes up. And then royal blue. So I got those, and I want to play around with dyeing fabric. I have a lot of 14 count Ada, a lot, and I don't really prefer to stitch on it. Um, so I thought it'd be kind of neat to play around with it and dye it. Maybe it'll come out cool. Maybe I can use some of those in giveaways too. And I also thought about videoing it while I'm doing it, just for the fun of it, not so much for a tutorial. Because one, I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm like a little scientist when I go in there and just like play around. And I watch a video, I see what they say you're supposed to do, and then I start doing it that way, and then I just start doing my own thing, and who knows what we're going to end up with. There's so many good videos out there. So if you want to watch a really good video on dyeing fabrics, you'll find one. If you want to watch somebody be ridiculously silly while they're dyeing fabric and just want to talk out loud to themselves while they're doing it, you'll watch my video. So I don't know when I'll do that one, but probably after I have this sale and the next sale that I have to do. And then the one after this one coming up next weekend is going to be a big one and a lot of work. And I don't know exactly when it's going to happen. We're still working on that. But it might be within the next month or two, because we have Christmas and all that in there. But after that, I want to take a nice little break and do some videos and go through some stuff in my storage unit. So I'll be showing you guys all kinds of stuff as I go along in the next month or so. Then I have thrift store items. I have these guys and this guy here. So I always watch Priscilla and Chelsea. Everybody knows who they are. They're from the Stitching with the Housewives. And she tends to use things like this a lot. Usually the smaller versions of them, the beads, and then she glues them around. This is more on a wire, but I got it for 99 cents. So I'm thinking I might someday make something that size and just use this for the frame for it. We'll see. I don't know. It was 99 cents, so I just got it. These two. I Don't know exactly where they come from. They're only like $4 initially, but they were $2 at Goodwill, and they remind me of giant soda bottle tops. Um, but I can put some cross stitch in there, probably fall. There's two of the same one. They just say Happy Harvest. So I'll do something fall in there or Halloweeny and just hang it in the kitchen. Then I got this. This was $2. So the thing that excites me about that is it's a dimensions. It's in really good condition. It's a complete kit. It, never opened, and it is not for me. But I will either sell it or gift it because it cost me $2, and it's a dimensions and it's in good shape. So yeah, I just got it for $2. And then I got these guys. These kinds of things just make me so happy in life. I don't know why. They just do. But I got this little guy. He rides. Has a little rope pull on the wheels. Well, that one's fun. Better than that one. Please spin. And there's some hay in there. And then there's a little. I got these two little mice. The cart was $4. These guys were like $2 each. Little mice. Peanuts. They're holding peanuts. They have like little leather like tails. And I want to set them on each end of the cart, and then I'll fill it with a couple pillows of whatever I stitch. There's a cute little pumpkin. It's stuck in the hay right now, so I'll just show it to you like this. But it's a little metal pumpkin. It was like $1. So I don't know. I just thought it was really cute. So that was all from the thrift store. And then the big thing. This is how I always tell you guys. I don't know how many times I've said it already. I say always, but I don't know. I might have said it once or twice. This is like the IKEA commercial where the guy's waiting for his wife and she comes running out with all the bags. She's like, start the car. This is a start the car thing. So I saw these, and when I tried doing the video yesterday, I actually found the receipt. So this woman paid $40 for this one thing of thread back in 2007. $40. I got them for $2. There's 12, and it's Aurifil. So Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop, she mentions Aurifil all the time. Does she mention it while she's talking about quilting or cross stitching? I don't know. I don't pay that close attention, so I don't know. And I quilt too, so either way, this will benefit me. I don't know if I can use it for hand quilting even, but I was excited to. It's 100% cotton. I'm excited about it. I like the spools. I like the colors. There are 3. I have 3 bags of them, and they were each $2 a bag, and they're all different colors. None of the bags are the same. So I have 36 spools, and they're for hand and machine sewing, which I like to do the English paper piecing too. So I mean, I'm sure I can use Aurifil for quite a bit. Do we use it for cross stitch? I don't know. I don't know. I might watch a couple videos on it to see why or why not. But I can't believe that I got these for that cheap. I'm just so excited about it. I'm so excited about it that I'm actually gonna pitch a bunch of the threads I have out of my thread box that are not as superior as these are. So if I have similar colors, I'm gonna regift them and get rid of those threads and keep these so that I don't have too many threads. And I'll use these. So that was super exciting to me. What else? Knitting. Okay, so I think that's it for cross stitch. I think I'm going to get into knitting a little bit. First, I gotta go grab it. Hold on one second. I have a prize winner from my last video. And like I mentioned a little bit, excuse me. Like I mentioned a little bit earlier, you know, I don't know if you guys think it's silly or not that I do giveaways right away out of the gate. Fifth Flosstube in, and I'm like, I'm gonna give stuff away. The reason I do it is because it just brings me so much joy. Like I get so excited when I give things to people, and especially when people, there are people who live in, I listen to them, you know, in the Facebook groups that we're in. Some people will talk, you know, they'll comment and talk to each other back and forth, and you, some of these people, they're like, oh, I live too rural, like I can't get this, I can't get that, or if I order it, the shipping is so much. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what that feels like, because I just get an overabundance of stuff, and my room is going to explode with how much stuff I have. Plus I have a storage unit with a lot of things in it. So I I do want to make some money with this stuff, because that's what I do for my business with my estate sales. But when it comes to the crafting stuff, I have fun just giving it to people. Like I have a friend that lives not too, a few towns over from me. She's just now starting to get into crocheting, and my daughter nicked a lot of my yarn when she started doing that amigurumi stuff. So she got together a whole big bag full of yarn to bring over to my friend. And I also have a ton of crochet hooks. At some point, I was thinking of opening a shop with craft items in it and doing some classes and things like that with kids. And that has not come to fruition yet, because I've been working so hard with the estate sale part of it. So I'm like, I can't hold on to this forever. So I, little by little, I'm gifting stuff. So anyway, I just thought with the floss tubes, I think it's fun. Now I know a lot of us, because I've won something from Stitching with the Housewives, and it's their own pattern or something brand new that just came out. But I don't think there's anything wrong with winning things that were somebody else's, that aren't done yet, and they're still in great condition, brand new in the packaging. Some people look for patterns that have since retired, or you can't find them anymore anyway. So anyway, I haven't gotten a lot. I think there's about 100 of you. Like I said, there's 100 subscribers. But if we start commenting a little more in the comments, then I could, you know, do the random draw and pull, because I want to give away like 3 things every other episode if I could. Anyway, this time I showed you guys about 4 things, but I pulled one little lonely person, one little lonely name, and she won the Bent Creek. I had shown you guys this here. So this is for Lori Bradley, 3845. And it's a Bent Creek. It's a door knocker, and it's the whole kit. You get the fabric, the floss, everything you need to hang it. It's from 2002. Yeah. So if you're interested in getting this, you want it, just give me your address. You can email it to me. Your physical address in the description is my email. You can email it to me, and I will send this out to you this next week coming up. So congratulations. And the more of you that pop on and like and subscribe and start commenting, let me know how you think I'm doing. Let me know if there's something you want me to stop doing or something you want me to start doing. I don't mind. I like criticism. I'm not opposed to it at all. If I don't like what you say, then I just jump over it and move on to the next thing. I'm good with all of it. Um, so anyway, that is all the cross stitch stuff. Now I want to spend, in my mind, it's 15 minutes. I'm not sure exactly how long it'll take, but I have some knitting. Um, there are 2 or 3 projects I want to show you. And then a book that I bought. And then after that, I will just show you, we'll go through the 2 boxes out of the crazy amount of boxes I have of the quilting stuff I bought from that $100 sale that I bought a whole room full of stuff from. So we'll do the 2 boxes. I did try that yesterday when I made the first video. And so, like I said, I did sneak a peek yesterday when I was going through it. So I will go through it quicker tonight and I won't show you every little piece. So there are some really cool things in there though. So anyway, if you're done with me for cross stitch, thank you for staying this long, and I will see you guys in a couple weeks. My sale is the first week of December, like 1, 2, 3. So after that, I'll have time to do another video, see how far I got on my stuff, and then show you some items for giveaways. So that's it for the cross stitch. And now I'm going to start showing you some knitting. Maybe there's only 2 or 3. I don't know. There's 2 or 3. But anyway, here is a book that I bought. I don't really go, okay. I do read. I love to read. But because I'm into crafting and keeping busy hands all the time with work or crafting at home, I find I don't have a lot of time to read. And by the time I get into bed, it's usually when I've already been half falling asleep while I'm stitching something. And I crawl in the bed and fall asleep within a couple minutes. So I don't really have time to read before I go to bed. So I spend a lot of time on Audible, which I never have thought that I would like listening to somebody else read me a book, but you can speed it up or slow it down however you want. And if you miss a section, or you know, sometimes I'm doing something mindlessly and I'm like, I just listened to like 4 chapters and have no idea what's going on. So then I rewind it, and it's almost the same as watching, you know, TV in the background. You're not really watching it, you're listening to what people are talking about or saying, kind of like with our floss tubes. So I actually got very used to it and I enjoy the heck out of it. But anyway, before Audible and all that, my daughters and I used to go to the library a lot, and we used to go to Anderson's Bookshop, which is in Naperville and Downers Grove, Illinois. We used to live in Downers Grove, so we went to that one a lot. And then now we go to the Naperville one whenever we're out that way. They have book signings there a lot. They have authors that come in and they do book signings. I don't know how long they've been in business. It's been quite a long time, and they're great. It's Anderson's, I believe, is more family owned bookstores, and they're awesome. The way the stores are set up, the people that work there are nice. But we went to a book signing. I've been to 2. One, I stood in line for the longest time to get an autograph from Jeremy Roenick, who was a Blackhawk. And well, he was a Flyer too. He you know, hockey. I love hockey. But I got his autograph, but not for me, for a friend of ours. I bought him Jeremy Roenick's book, and he signed it to my friend. And I got him that for Christmas, a few years ago. And then another time, quite a few years ago, I took my 2 daughters. They were preteen, maybe 10 and 11, or 11 and 12, somewhere in there. And we got to meet R.L. Stine. And actually, now that I think of it, I remember my kids coming home. This is funny. I remember my girls coming home, and my daughter Dana was like, Mom, remember we were having an author come to school and talk to us? And I'm like, yeah. Or they read to you. I'm like, yeah. And they say, you know, when the authors come, they want no parents there. Whoever the author is, they just come and they read to the kids, say hey, and then they're done. So she's like, guess who it is? And I'm like, I don't know. And I got excited. I thought, ooh, Skippy John Jones author, because I used to go to school and read to the kids in a funny accent doing the Skippy John Jones books. And it was a big hit with the kids. They always wanted me to come. When's Mrs. Esposito coming? And I thought maybe that's who it was. No, it was R.L. Stine. She's like, R.L. Stine. And I'm like, no. She's like, yeah, Mom. I'm like, no, you're mistaken. You're mistaken. She's like, no, he's coming to my school. And I'm like, I need to be there. And she's like, you cannot. Don't get me in trouble. So I didn't get to go. But then she said he's going to be at Anderson, so you can take us there after school the same day and we can go meet him again. And I'm like, oh, thank God, because I love R.L. Stine. So my son is 30. I can't remember. I'm really bad at anniversaries and stuff like that. I'm 50. I think he's 34. He's 34. And he used to love to read, or I used to read him R.L. Stine books. We read them together. And then as my girls were growing up, they read Goosebumps books. And Friday, it's not Friday the 13th. It's maybe it is. I can't remember. But there's another series he did. And then he did some teen books. And then he did a couple of adult books. So I'm a big fan of R.L. Stine. And so the fact that we got to go to the bookstore and meet this guy, I was just beside myself. I was so excited. And I was trying to be, not starstruck, because I've met a lot of famous people for some reason in my life in the band industry. And I'm like, hi, how's it going? Whatever. But for whatever reason, I was giddy about meeting R.L. Stine. So we met the girls, he talked to them, he signed their books. And I'm like, will you sign my book? And he's like, sure. He's like, what you got? And I'm like, this book. And he's like, oh, I was wondering who read that. And I'm like, I did. I read it twice. I love it. And it's Superstition. And he's written a couple others since then, adult books. And he'll never see this, and we don't know each other. So it's okay to say that I just didn't enjoy the other two. Like, that he should really stick to the teen and the young adult books. Like, I don't know. It doesn't transfer over to the adult books the same as it does when you're reading the Goosebump books or the teen books. But anyway, we got to meet him. He was really sweet, really nice guy. I think he knows people in that area and he frequents the area. I don't know, but he's been around quite a bit in Illinois and in the Naperville area. So anyway, so that's Anderson. So my daughter and I, whenever we're in Naperville and we get a chance, we stop and we look through the bookstore. She'll get a couple books. I usually don't come out with anything. And then I made my way to the back of the store and I found this. And it really wasn't that expensive either. And it is, it's just Japanese knitting stitches, which I don't know that there's a difference between them versus stitches I'm used to doing. And then there's like 25 different projects in here. And the book is just, I don't know, it's just really pretty. And it's written really well. So I was excited about it. So at some point I will go ahead and try a couple of cowls. Are my thing. I like to make cowls and I like to make socks and sweaters, cardigans. That's my jam. But anyway, so I got this book. It was a long story to tell you how I got that book, but I don't know. It's R.L. Stine. I had to tell you that. Okay, so I'm only going to show you two projects. I did show you one recently, but I haven't gotten any further on that, and it is not my fault. We're going to blame that on Elizabeth Can Stitch, because that girl has just been knitting her little hands off. Elizabeth Can Stitch, I'm sure a lot of you know who she is. She does tutorials on quilting. Actually, I've only seen her quilting tutorials. I don't know if she does any with knitting or cross stitch. Anyway, she has Flosstubes. She does cross stitch. She cross stitches beautiful pieces. And she does a lot of the, the things I want to go to that I never go to. And you guys all meet up. And my brain is just, I think I still have pie brain. She travels around and goes to retreats. And she's just so sweet. She said her age tonight. So, like I said, I made this yesterday, but I'm actually doing it today, Friday, the 24th. And she did this really cute video on knitting. She did like a vlog, and she wanted to make this sweater vest for Thanksgiving. So she videoed herself from 10 days prior, 12 days prior to the start of it, and then little bits at a time. She videoed it all and then edited it, put it together, and spit it out today. And it's all about this vest she knit, and it's adorable. She's adorable, but she said she's like 40 years old. I think she's doing what I do. I do the opposite. Most people want to like cover up their age and lie about their age and say they're younger than they are. Some people go as far as, they feel uncomfortable with things, so they'll get surgery or things put on or taken off. I'm all like, hey, I'm 68. And people are like, wow, you look great for 68. Yeah, I'm not 68. I go up. I tell you I'm older than I am, so then I look good for my age. No, actually, most of the time I don't even know how old I am. But so anyway, so she has been knitting a lot, and she's got me stuck on, I make cardigans. I'm making a sweater that is not a cardigan, but it's very light. It's like in sock weight, merino, and then actually some acrylic that mimics a merino look, like a sock weight yarn. And I'm making a striped, almost like a t-shirt. It looks like a t-shirt sweater. I started that. I got about this far, because you start from the bottom, you work your way up. I like top down, but this one calls for bottom up, so we're gonna go with it. But I got that far. And then she's showing things she made. The sweater that she wore in one of her last videos that she made, it has stripes, and it's just, oh my gosh, so beautiful. So she's got me wanting to make sweaters. So I decided to put the other one down for now, and I'm going to make this sweater. I got it out of a magazine. It is, it's out of Interweave Knits Winter 2024. Doesn't that seem wrong? Or in 2023? I don't know. Or are they that far ahead? Like that's what's going to come up for a year from now? I don't know. Or be in style a year from now. But I'm making this. It's called Tillage Sweater. Tillage. But I want to make this. I am not, okay, so this one is also worked from the bottom up. And I like what we call raglan. Raglan sleeves are worked. They kind of come, it's hard to do it from here, but they're higher up. They're higher up, and they're worked in. Usually you work up or down, from top down or bottom up, and you separate your stitches to work the sleeves in, and then build them off of the actual sweater with increases or decreases. I can't remember. That's my favorite. These drop sleeves, I always feel they just feel funny right about where the seam would go. This one does, I don't know. I might like this one. This one doesn't look so bad. So I'm going to try it. I am making it. Can't remember if I'm doing the large or the extra large. Knowing me, I probably went with extra large, and then I always make things bigger than I think. I make them too big. Because I don't do a gauge swatch. That's bad. You really should. There's no reason not to do one. But oh my God, for whatever reason, I feel like I'm wasting my time. And I'm not, because how many times have I had to pull something apart because it was gargantuous? A lot. or I make something, excuse me, I make something for somebody much smaller and then it ends up fitting me. And I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I'll have to make another one. Okay, so anyway, oh, here's the yarn that I'm using. It's called Austral Katia. It is 50% merino and 50% acrylic. I normally don't care for acrylic yarn. I've become a yarn snob. I got rid of a lot of yarn. I am first and foremost a knitter. Knitting is like, I've been doing it for, well, probably 30 years. And before that, even, my great grandma taught me how to knit. I used to knit little round pot holders when I was like 4. But I don't know. I've become a yarn snob. I have a hard time with natural fibers. I'm allergic to everything. Like when you watch my videos, I'm constantly scratching or my face or doing something with my nose or sneezing or coughing because my allergies they're just super allergies since COVID a few years ago. I went and got tested and he's like, wow, you are really allergic to everything and like a lot. And I'm like, I don't know what happened because I really wasn't allergic to anything after I had my girls. When I was a kid, I had allergies to like 3 things, and that was it. Now I'm allergic to even mushrooms. He said I should not be eating mushrooms. That makes me very sad. I absolutely love mushrooms. I stopped eating them, but I still have allergies. Anyway, so I really want natural fibers, but I tend to only be able to work with merino because it's treated. And when they treat the wool, it takes out whatever the allergen is, I think, because I can work with merino wool just fine. If I work with wool or alpaca or a blend of it, I get like little rashes trying to work with it. So I work with it for a very short period of time. But anyway, so this is a 50% merino and a 50% acrylic. I got these from an estate sale a few years ago, and I have about 11 or 12 skeins of this. They're 50 gram balls. So there's like 150 yards in each one. So I should have enough to make the sweater. And I think for whatever reason, when you mix a quality yarn of merino with acrylic, that merino makes the acrylic behave, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't pill. It's so super soft. And I'm not allergic to it. So that's exciting. Anyway, I chose to make this sweater because I think that the cables will still show up well. I don't know if you'll be able to see it that great with all the background stuff, but this is how far I got. I don't know if I'm going to like this rib. Uh, it's a 2x2 rib and you do one size needle smaller. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be happy with that. And I'm also not sure that I'm happy with the way that the edging on the very bottom is coming out. I may, because I did this in one night. I really focused on it for a few hours, and I can knit pretty fast because I knit. I am, is that continental or English? I think I'm continental, right? When you hold, so I'm a right-handed knitter, and I hold the yarn. I hold the working yarn in my left hand, and then I knit like, I just knit like that rather than holding it in my right hand and throwing it. So I can work up something pretty quickly. So I don't know if I'm going to keep with that. I might use this as my actual swatch and measure it because when I put it around myself, I'm like, oh yeah, that's fine. And then when it's done, it'll be like huge. And when you're a bigger girl and you wear too big of something, it makes you look bigger. So I don't know. We'll see. But that is exciting, and that is not my fault that now I'm working on something like that. And then the socks. The socks are Another thing I've showed you, because we talked about how I have um, the yarn, the cheaper merino yarn versus the really expensive stuff I bought a skein of. I made a cowl out of it, and I have a whole bunch left for a pair of socks. So I'm not opposed to mixing the two together. I think it looks absolutely fine. What I showed you before was a sock that had this long of a leg and a heel. And then I did the turn of the heel and I started working on the gusset. Took it apart because I did them on my double pointed needles, which I absolutely love knitting socks on double pointed needles always. It's just the best. But what I don't love is knitting one and then having to go back and knit a second one. I'm like, okay, now I'm done. Now what? I don't want to make a second one. And sometimes I never do. Or I go back to it years later and I'm like, what even was I making? I'm not smart enough to take a copy of the pattern and put it in the bag with it. So I'm getting better at that stuff, but I took it apart. And I have this here book. I got this from like a Half Price Books, I think. So it's called Knitting and More, Circles Around Socks. So you do 2 at a time, toe up or cuff down. And of course, I love doing toe up. That's my favorite. Because that way, if I ever run out of yarn or I feel like I'm running out, I can just make them short socks versus longer socks. So I feel I have more control when I'm doing toe up. Anyway, I don't know why I'm showing you the book that long, but so I'm doing a basic sock, 2 at a time, toe up. And what's neat about this 2 at a time, so I've tried them before, and usually they have a longer needle and then the shorter one, same size needles, but one's longer than the other, and they're on 2 different needles. That confuses the heck out of me. So this one I noticed has one. These are size 1s. So I have one needle, and you do Judy's Magic Cast On. And so basically you just work the one side, then this side, then you turn it around and you work one side and the other side, and you're making both socks at the same time, and it's great. The only thing I'm going to complain about, and it's my own fault, is that I forget that I don't like the toe this pointy. So when you're casting them on, you're doing 16, and you're doing 8 on each side, and I prefer it to be just those 2 extra stitches, 10 on each side, and it just makes all the difference to me. But once this is on a foot, it really does spread out. You won't even really notice it much, but for whatever reason I do, and it drives me nuts. And I forgot to do that, and I am not taking it apart again, so we'll just live with it. So I got this far on these here. And I haven't made any mistakes. I'm so proud of myself. I'm even making sure that the striping is the exact amount of rows. Now, once we get to the heel turn, and the gusset, we'll see how that goes, because sometimes I mess that up with the striping. As far as, because you're going to, separate the stitches and only work back and forth on half the stitches for a while, then you put them back on, and then you make double the stitches to bring them back down, and I will get confused on when I'm supposed to change colors. So we'll see how I manage that. The pattern is not for a striped sock, so this is something that's going to be trial and error for me, but it'll be fun. I'm having fun with it. So that is that. I think that's all the knitting.
Okay, technical difficulties. I made the video Thursday. after Thanksgiving dinner. Didn't care for the way it turned out. Made another one on Friday and wanted to add a few things in, take a couple things out. Was all ready to edit. I edited it all. The new microphone, I guess it doesn't have that long of a battery life, and this little guy is plugged into the tablet, so when this poops out, this is in there, so then it doesn't switch automatically to the tablet volume. So the last part of my video was all my mouth moving and no words were coming out. So anyway, good morning. Today is Saturday morning. I'm going to just slip, bless you, sir. The kitty had a little sneeze. I'm going to just go through and do the quilting material real quick so that I can finally post Flosstube number 5. Okay. And now the 2 boxes are all out of order, so no big deal. No big deal. I'm just going to show you the few things. So we have, and if I'm sans excitement, it's because I've done this. This is my 3rd time. I have this is just the pattern. I don't have the material, but it might be in one of the other millions of boxes around in the storage unit. Then we have backyard quilts. It is a little pumpkin wall hanging, harvest time. It's the whole kit. The whole kit. I will not be keeping that, surprisingly. I love everything and anything fall and Halloween, but I'm not big on the wall hangings. Don't know why. I like them in other people's homes. There's one that I have in mind that I will hang around Halloween. Other than that, I'm gonna sell that one. This is also gonna be something I will sell. It's called Emery. It is from 2000, and it's all kitted up, beautifully packaged, ready to go. You can see pretty colors. Curdy's gonna make an appearance. He's just wandering around behind the tablet there. He's not used to me being in this room in the morning, so, oh, yep, there he is. Hello, mister. Hi. Hi, my love. We have this here. It's the Dick and Jane children's books. It's 1.5 yards. It's beautiful. Not for me. So I'll sell, or this might be a good giveaway too, because I don't think it would cost that much to ship it out. So that would be a fun one to give away. And then we have this. This is just beautiful. It is big enough for a kid's bed quilt, like to have as backing. It's beautiful, beautiful fabric. Or an adult's. I mean, whatever you like, right? I also have this guy. Is from 2001, Blueberry Hill Quilt Designs, Antique Ornaments. This will also be one that I will sell at some point. It's the whole kit. There's that. Oh, and this here is Chelsea's Boutique. I'm not clear on the year. Oh, 2006. 2006. I have it upside down only because the way it's attached. It's Chelsea's Boutique, and it's got all its fabric cut. Where are these? Back quarters? I'm not sure because I'm not good at the measurement part. It's beautiful. All Moda. Moda. Most of this, a lot of this stuff is Moda. Or similar. Like fabrics as far as quality. I like this one because it has a little, there's two of them, little panels of, it looks like cross stitch. It's quite wrinkled, but it's been folded since 2006, so. That one I want to keep, and this one I feel like I haven't made very many blankets, but I think I can hack this one from a book. I've never made one from a book. I usually look at a video. The pattern was $8, and the whole thing of fabric was $85. The only reason I tell you these things is I'm just so dumbfounded as to how I got all my hands on all of this for $100. Like, right here is worth what I spent on a whole room full of expensive fabric. It's crazy to me. Then there was a bunch of Thangles, which I've never used. I'm figuring them out. I've seen Kimberly Jolly on Fat Quarter Shop use things similar. I think hers are on a roll. They sell theirs differently, but, and I don't know if they're called Thangles with them, but I think these are the similar to that. And there's all 4-inch, 3.5 inch, 2-inch, 3-inch. I just am not sure, 100% sure what their purpose is. I kind of get the idea, but I think once I try to use them, I will understand better what the hoopla is over those. Then there's this guy. Get your bum out of there. What I tell you about these G-rated shows we do here, sir. Thank you. This is by, it's called Sweet Romance by Blackbird Designs. It's got scalloped edges. I believe this is 71 by 71, if I remember. And, nope, 60 by 75. Either way, it's a good size quilt, and I will be trying my hand at that. These are all of the amazing colors that she had chosen for it. And surprisingly, I like it. I say surprisingly because, I don't know, it's normally not my, I like the colors, but the print is not normally something I go for, but something about this, I really like it. And the fabric is made for this pattern because it is Moda, but it is a Blackbird Designs, and Moda made it. So yeah, and this must be the backing because this is huge. So there's that. I'm gonna try my hand at that. I think if I take, you know, like 2 more years go by and I haven't done it yet, then I'll rethink selling that guy. And the last bit is, I think this is the box that I mushed up. Yes, this is all just a bunch of, I don't know, I'm not sure what she was going to use this for exactly, but these for me are going to be project bags. I on Thursday, while I was waiting for food to cook, I was looking around to see what was going to happen for Black Friday, and on the TV in the kitchen, I was looking to just put on, you know, something for background noise while I was sitting looking at my phone. And I put a video on about project bags. And usually I make project bags with the vinyl front that Elizabeth Can Stitch has a tutorial on. I watch her tutorials. I love her tutorials on quilting. I've not seen any of hers with cross stitch or knitting. Not sure if she's done those in the past, or will be doing any of those, but she'd be good at it either way. Her quilting ones are awesome. So I put one on about a bag, and it's just like, it looks like a bigger cosmetic bag. It has the top zipper and the flat bottom. The way that you finish the bottom, it stands up on itself. I have to sneeze. Sorry. I am done pausing and editing, so it's all just going to be in the video. So I watched this video about this bag, or was listening to it, heard the voice, and I was like, I know that voice. So I look over, I see the hands moving and talking about this bag, and I'm like, I recognize the hand movements. Like, why would I know this person? And it turns out she's from Knit and Crochet Now. Her name is Vanessa, and I've watched her and all the other lovely ladies on that show for years. They have tutorials. They're like about a half hour long. Usually you see them on, where I'm from, they're on PBS stations. And then you can watch them on, all their episodes are on their website. So if you go to Knit and Crochet Now and watch the videos through there, they have all their episodes, and they are all just really good at tutorials and instruction, and you can follow along. So you can get free patterns online and then watch the corresponding episode and see it being made step by step. Anyway, Vanessa is one of the girls that they rotate through on that show, and I finally recognized her because she has specific tattoos, and I saw her tattoo, so I knew it was her. But anyway, on her own YouTube channel, she goes by Crafty Gemini, and again, it was just a really good video. So I'm gonna go back and watch that video and make a couple of bags. I think they would be great for my little knitting projects. And so anyway, this is the last of the fabric here. I think most of this I will keep, depending on how long I have it, or if I get through, you know, a few bags and I'm like, okay, I have a bunch of pieces left, I might put together a little package and surprise somebody with enough to do, you know, their own, make a bag. Oh, I like this for sure. I sure hope you guys can hear me. For as much as I talk and as loud as I talk normally, I mumble a lot. I didn't realize how much I mumble. Like, my thoughts come out as they go, and my sentence starts out strong and then it kind of blah, blah, blah. There's a couple of those in this video from last night, and I'm just gonna leave it in there and whatever you didn't hear, it wasn't that important anyway, so. But these are going to make, oh, I love this one. A Merry Halloween. That is going to be a couple project bags. And that is Camp Thimbleberries, Treats, No Tricks for RJR Fashion Fabrics. Do any of you know what that is? I don't. I'm not. I've never bought more expensive or the better quality fabrics. I get whatever I can find in the big box store or whatever I find through my sales. So sometimes I don't know the difference. I'd have to look it up. Moda, I know. And there's a couple others I know. That one's kind of hard to see. There's leaves imprinted on there. That one reminds me of Christmas right here. But that's about it. This one, woofda. That'll probably be the inside of a bag. And then there's some, oh, this one was kind of cute. The first time I did the video, I thought those, when I saw the little polka dot, red polka dot cups upside down, I'm like, that's cute. They put teacups and ladybugs together. What a weird combination. There's no ladybugs. It's all cups. And then cotton batting, like, I don't care what size piece I find anywhere, I will buy it because it is so expensive. Especially the natural, not dyed cotton. Holy crap, how expensive that stuff is. And I have tons of it. I'm so lucky to find this stuff, I tell you. This is why I want to share it. Because I get it for nothing or for so cheap that I can sell it for quite cheap and shipping, or do the giveaways and it just cost me a little bit of shipping, and that's the cost that I bear to make you sit and listen to me. Okay, so hopefully that was not too jumbled and rushed. That is all I have. I don't remember how many times I said it, but Lori Bradley 3845, you have a prize coming if you are interested in it. The Bent Creek Christmas door knocker. Send me your physical address to my email, which is in the description, and I'll send that out to you this week. If I said that more than once before, sorry about that. This video has been in progress over 3 days. Okay, I had to just add this last little bit because I lost myself there for a minute in the end of the other video. Anyway, I just really want you guys to have a great rest of your weekend. I will see you in about 2 weeks. I have a big sale that I have to set up after the sale that is ending on the 3rd. So if I'm not able to do a video within 2 weeks, I'll still pop on and let you guys know that I'm still alive and pushing through my last sale of the season. So I wish I knew how to put all the little texts, or how to put text in the video. I'm going to learn how to do that because there are so many times I want to add like a little arrow and point to something and make fun of myself or say something funny, like how convenient it is that I've been sharing my turkey gobbler with you. I poke fun at myself all the time. It's okay. Yeah, eventually I'm going to learn how to put those little blurbs in. I will give you the links to the people that I mentioned. If I can't figure out how to do the link, I'll at least put their name and
who they are, you know, on there. That's it. I feel another sneeze coming on. I will see you guys in a couple weeks. Thank you so much. Take care. Bye.